And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of DeceasedCraft. So, last episode we did go to the vertical school, and I did promise that we are going to get into a little bit of create, and I will do my best to keep that promise. But first, there's a place that I would like to get into, just because it'll allow us to get a little bit more resources, not to mention it has the parts that I want or would like to use, and that is the assault rifle parts. Huh, it's a little foggy out here. We are going to the hotel district, which was kind of far away from base. I don't know if you guys saw. We explored kind of this area previously, looking for stuff willy-nilly, not utilizing the nature's compass, which I highly recommend. Like, use the nature's compass, it helps tremendously. But yeah, so I did use it this time to look for this place, and if you are looking for the high-rise hotel, it is the tier 3 district. It will be in the rainforest. So if we come out here, it's pretty nice. I did find a nice little location here that points exactly to the place where many people love to go, and that is the casino. I don't know if you guys looked at the thumbnail. It looks a little bit better when you do use shaders and it is not raining. However, I am currently using no shaders just because it does help a ton with frames, and we are about to clear this area. I do recommend having a fully automatic weapon, a pistol, and a shotgun just to help clear out the wave, just because these guys can be a little tricky. As you saw, there's a guy, if you guys remember, from the Wasteland, but he is a common character here in the tier 3 area, whether it's the high-rise hotel or if it's the retail district. You will see plenty of these guys, which is a little concerning sometimes. And as you can see, we do have some new guys available. One of them I did fight off in this recent horde, which was the 6th horde that I faced. However, I did record, or I chose not to record it just because it'll feel like I'm just doing the same thing over and over. It's just basically me hiding out in a little area and then utilizing our defenses to just take them out. So I will skip out on that until it does get absolutely absurd. But as you can see, we do have some new guys attacking us, and this is the lurker, which he just basically runs at you and smacks you, has a little bit of knockback, so it does hurt when he does hit you. Kind of gotta be a little careful because those raiders do hurt. So kind of just running around so you guys can see who's all around. The fat dude is called the Pregnant, which is a dude that'll just basically walk you down and spit at you. And then we have these guys with chainsaws for hands and for heads. These guys, I do not know their official name, however, they do hurt when they do hit you because they're jumping and smacking, so they do kind of a lot of damage. And they are now appearing in the 6th horde, so you will see the Pregnant, the fat dude, and you will see the chainsaw dude along with everybody else in your 6th wave, if you were curious as to how the progression goes. Okay, this is getting a little dangerous, so I will start thinning out the crowd. Let's take care of these guys just because they are a little bit more of an issue than anybody else, just because they are a little bit faster than the infected military. But yeah, just like that, we were able to take care of them. Let's take these guys. And then we do have these guys from the Wasteland, if you guys remember. Those were the clickers. They do hurt a little bit if you let them get too close, but I think they are better than the alternative dude, who, I don't know if you guys remember, explodes. So yeah, let's actually start thinning out the horde. Okay, if you are fighting these guys with any type of weapons, I highly recommend using the football gear with your saw bat, unless you got into create. And of course, if you made the other bats, those would probably be even better choices, just because it does do a little bit more damage. But the reason why I recommend using the saw bat is because it does do high amounts of damage. Please do not explode. I hate when those guys explode. There's currently no way to reduce the noise they make. I've been looking into it. I think it's just how they were programmed. So sadly, just avoid them at all costs if you can. But yeah, infected military take a little bit or they have pretty high knockback resistance, so if you have the knockback glove, it would be a little easier keeping your distance, but if not, then I highly recommend just jumping and attacking to do as much damage as possible to take them out quickly. But yeah, just like that, we got about half of them taken out. Let's run away from that guy and finish them off with this. I really hate their noises. So yeah, let's just get these guys out the way since they are rather close. I don't know if I said this before, but if that guy with the chainsaw is attacking you, I do recommend jumping and attacking just because that'll hopefully help you dodge their hits. Okay, can I not just be redacted for a moment? Thank you very much. And this guy, well, let's see how many shots it takes with a shotgun to take him out. Boom, boom, 3 shots. So he's kind of sturdy. Not bad. Okay, sweet. That helps a ton, thinning them out. And let's see, all of them done. Cool, 2 shots. Now let's drink some water, just because we are a bit dehydrated. Okay, cool. Looks like we just need to take out maybe 2 more dudes, and then we'd be all set. But yeah, let's do this. Boom. Yeah, this is why I recommend bringing a couple of guns, just because then you could just swap out and then alternate with your melee. But yeah, shotgun is gonna help when it comes to taking out that guy, just because it does do high damage and he does have a lot of health. I'm not sure if he has high armor, but yeah, that dude does have a lot of health. And let's take him out, because this will be the first time I hunt them in this series. But yeah, once we clear this guy, we should be able to go into the casino. Yeah. There we go. Got a pregnant down, we got a lurker down. I think those are the 2 of the few mini bosses that are currently available. As for the other ones, I'm not too sure where you can find them. I think there might be one in the other area, the retail district. However, I believe in the retail district, if I am not mistaken, they don't really count as bosses, they're just new enemies. So let's actually do this. Okay. So that dude wasn't the last one? Nope. So we are missing at least 2 more guys, or I'm assuming. But I don't see anybody else highlighted over here, which is a little odd. So, oh crap, that dude, I don't see him. Enemy number 1. Hell yeah. Just like that, we got him. One of my favorite things to do. Take him out. It just brings me a sense of joy knowing he's gone. And I don't know where the other dude is. So, I guess we'll just begin our descent into the casino. It's because I don't want to take too much time here. After all, I did say I wanted to get a little bit into create. But yeah, let's see if the horde dude will spawn. Oh, he's down there. Which is kind of nice, because I do want to start at the very bottom. Okay. Okay. It's a little dangerous, getting trapped in the corners, and then being able to jump down. But as long as we use our armor properly, that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Okay. Okay. Got a little too confident there, but not bad. Okay, let's do this. Boom, use you. And it looks like down here is where the other dude is. And we managed to get infected. Okay, can we go down? Thank you very much. Yeah, don't recommend doing what I just did, but I am fairly confident in our armor and our regenerative ability to be able to do that. So, what the hell? Oh yes, Love the spider being able to shoot projectiles. One of my favorite aspects. Okay, let's do this. Grab some little apples. Eat. And we are all set to keep on with this charade. Okay, boom. Okay. Sweet. Tell me, you're the last one. Sweet. Now that guy's just for show. But yeah, it can get a little hectic with all these infected militaries, so I highly suggest taking them out as soon as you can. Boom. Sweet. And you spawn? Okay, those are normal. Sometimes these speakers will spawn as a spawner, that's why I was like, how did he just do that? I guess this is close enough to do that. Okay. I'd really appreciate if you give me just a moment, my friend. You too. Kinda wanna repair our bands. Boom, boom. Perfect. And we do this, and just like that, now we are free to loot this area. I saw you, little gremlin. Damn. Okay, it was you that hit me. I was about to say, they have that much range? Okay. Spiders, man. Gotta love them. Okay. One thing I did do is utilize one of the feeding upgrades and upgraded it to advanced so that I don't have to monitor my hunger anymore. And I'm using a baked potato as my means of food. If you guys are curious, I can show you real quick. So if we press B, look at the feeding upgrade. I do have it on, and I came over here and set this to only waste maybe half the hunger just so that we keep our health relatively high. Ooh, somebody dropped catfish. Interesting. And then I just put the baked potato here, and I do have it on allow and match items, so it just utilizes only that food, which we have a bit. That's plenty to actually survive in this area. So what upgraded? Our melee? Sweet. Let's do some more damage with this. Looks like we got a point over here in this area. I'd probably just choose dodge. Yeah, dodge is probably the next best bet. And let's actually rate this place. So I'm not gonna really go over everything. All I'm going to say is there are a few very important areas to raid when you are here in the casino, and that is this area right here. Okay, cool, he is stuck down there, but as you can see, we do have gold available in there. Is that catfish just... that's probably where we got the catfish. Over here in the restroom area, there is some medical supplies. Okay, just want to get rid of him. So you could find some tonics, bandages, string, of course, as some medkits, which is highly useful in every stage of the game. I don't think there's anything that's going to be higher than that, but honestly, with how much healing you get, you don't really need anything higher than that. Interesting. Dudes just spawning in there. But yeah, besides the restrooms, there are these little, I like to call them little watchtowers, but they're basically like a security watching over the casino, and they have these little safes, which if you break down the reinforced door, which takes a little while, and disable the spawner, you will have access to a bit of money. You know, you can never have too much money, especially in the apocalypse, where some of these survivors are happily accepting cash, which we can always print ourselves, but we are not at that stage just yet, which honestly sounds like a pretty good idea if you're playing on a server with some friends, you know? Having all that cash really does come and help. Let's grab all this and sweet. Grab a couple more free material. Definitely helps to have it. And let's check out what's over here. So if you're looking for security system setup, you could get some cameras here. I'm not too sure about the rest of the setup, but you can always craft it whenever you get to that stage. And as you can see, we can finally find ourselves some assembly parts for the rifle. I know that was horribly worded, it's just brain wasn't working, but yes. Oh yeah, forgot to mention I did upgrade our ammo boxes. All is required is some aluminum plates, which is just aluminum ingots that have been smashed with a hammer to make some plates, and a block of diamond, which at this stage it's relatively easy to get all this. And then boom, now that ammo box, the free iron that holds 180 is now upgraded to the diamond box that holds up to 540 rounds per box, which is tremendous. So yeah, besides taking the loot from there, definitely hitting these areas for some free cash and some parts. Highly worth it. However, this is not the exact bottommost area. If we come over here, damn it, these guys really spawned. But yeah, if you come down this little spiral staircase, there is a tiny little basement. And if we were to break down these sturdy doors, you can find a couple things over here as well. Ooh, military helmets. We'll take that. But yeah, as you can see, tons of ammo, and now we are starting to get access to our first assault rifles, which is huge. Let's just dump all this in here. I kind of don't care at the moment. I just want to get all this in the backpack, then I'll move everything out in just a moment. Okay, sweet. Boom. There we go. Some bullet mold casings, or mold bullet casing for the 5.56 45s, which is pretty good. And the more we have, the more bullets we can produce at once. And of course, there's some more doors this way. And if we just come over here, you can see that there's plenty of ammo. What I like to do is just break these guys down and take it, just because it will be handy when I start making our own base. Because right now we are still living in the same area, but I do plan on moving into this area, just because this shrubland is relatively flat. Not to mention it is next to this area, so not bad. The only issue is if we did want to come all the way over here to the tier 2 districts, it is kind of far, but I kind of don't really see a huge need to visit them, except, I don't know, this is where my dilemma comes from, because if you look at this, these areas are very annoying to traverse just because of the tall grass. It does slow you down, and I would have to destroy a ton of it. If we come over here, this is a redwood forest. Since we do not have any sort of vein mine, it is a pain, or it would be a pain, to destroy all these trees. And then over here, the marsh, well, it's just water, so that's not too bad of an issue or area. The prairie, this is like an ideal area as well, just because it is here in the tier 2 and it is not too far from the other tier 2. Not to mention, if we did want to go to the retail, I believe the compass pointed out more this way. So it is relatively better in a sense, because you do have more access to uh, more resources rather quickly. But I don't know why. This area just seems really nice. So I'm currently debating whether I want to build our base here or over here, which, kind of thinking about it, if I am going to be utilizing the excavator, having a lot more land to survey would probably be the best choice of action. So, you know what? This little section I'll have to scout out, and then maybe run around in this area, just because the forest is relatively nice. It's just I would just have to invest a little bit of time clearing out trees. So yeah, I'll be sure to scout out these areas. But yeah, so far I do have this area in mind as well. If I could find a way of faster travel without having to teleport, we'll see. We'll see. That's just a little thought. One thing I did want to ask you guys is, oh, that's a really good. I was thinking of making that gun, so actually finding it is huge. But yeah, what I wanted to ask you guys is, what would you guys like to see for the next series? I know I did have Cisco's running, however, I've been playing the Cisco's Dragonfire, the updated version, with my brother on the server, since we kind of already beat this already. and so far we are really enjoying it, and I think it's really cool, and I might do that, but I don't know. I think I would like your guys' opinion as to which mod pack you would like me to beat next. Or should we take a small detour and do some Terraria? Just because I have not gotten my uh, yearly Terraria in. Usually in the winter break I do play it a wee bit. However, since I haven't touched it, I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe I might do it. I don't know. And we could do it for a series, which would be pretty cool. I do play Terraria with mods, and I probably won't do Calamity just because it is such a rather large mod that adds a ton and can be a little grind intensive, but I wouldn't mind doing something a little light, like a little thorium, because that'll just add a few more in-between bosses and add only one late stage boss, so it won't affect gameplay way too much, but it'll be relatively nice. But yeah, here in the casino, as you saw, as we break through the doors, we have a nice area with money. I don't really think you could turn these gold coin stacks back into any form of usable loot, so I usually ignore it and leave it. But if you guys want to decorate your own vaults, uh, I recommend collecting it. But yeah, over here you can collect some money blocks, and I don't know if you guys saw, there's a slightly off colored one, and that is high value money, which is 9 of these money blocks, which is 81 buckaroos. Super solid, super nice. I cannot lie. I love it. Okay, I don't really need those end rods, so we'll leave that, leave you, take the money, can't do that. Casino has taken too many people's money, I can't let them have it, so I should have it, you know? I think that's fair. And let's see how much we actually turn out with just in this area. Which, looking kinda nutty. Okay, so we didn't open this. Damn. So, after looting these 2 safes, we turned out with, I mean, if we turn this into that, that'd be 20 high value blocks, equivalent of 180 normal money blocks. And if you multiply that by 9, that is what, 160? No, that's way more. Like 1,060 normal buckaroos, which is tremendous. One thing I forgot to note as well, in the vertical tower, you can find a research paper there in that room where they had all the potions and netherwort and all that. If you actually opened the chest and actually looted it properly, you would find research papers. Here in the casino, you will find another research paper. So that will be 2 research papers, and if you want to look for all of them, you could always just come over here. And as you can see here in the high-rise office district, you would be able to find another one. It would be in the courtyard office tower. So that bigger looking tower should have one of these papers, which we'll go visit at some point. And then over here in the retail district, if we do make it into the Terrace Plaza Mall, which is probably another area that we should hit, we will find the other research paper. As for the last one, as I mentioned before, we will not be able to acquire just because it is found in the wasteland. However, the wasteland is currently, well, it is added because it is in biomes so plenty, I think is the mod. However, there will be no laboratory, no army stations, none of that from the previous season, and that is because it is still under work. So, anything tier 4 in the mod pack is currently locked. Anything regarding the wasteland is locked, which means technically we cannot make golden apples, but because of all the different ways that we could stack looting or luck, we can get quite a bit of resources without having to worry about, oh, we are running out of golden apples. That's like a very far chance, not to mention the dock sells us some. So yeah, technically, according to the pack, we should be able to handle everything that is thrown at us currently, which I highly believe. so far. I mean, there's a lot of things that we have yet to go over, but it is very fun. So, just a little FYI, so whenever we do get to a point in the pack where there's kind of little to no progress, we will most likely wrap it up there and say thank you for a very fun experience, and just wait for whenever we do get access to the full experience, because that is going to be super fun and I can't wait. Yeah, I guess we'll continue looting the rest of the casino as quickly as possible, or I'll just show you guys a couple of the floors just so we don't stay here for too long. But yeah, same thing as before. The lower levels underneath the ground floor is technically the gambling area of the casino. So this is where you will be able to find all your money, basically, and tons of resources so that if you want to get into producing your own weapons or bullets, this is probably your one-stop shop to get everything you ever needed. So if we destroy this, I don't even know if the other rooms had it and I skipped that, but yeah, we come over here, as you can see, some more medkits, some more money, some more security system stuff in these. And then of course you could get your ammo, parts, and guns for free in these lockers, which is super amazing. In fact, let's actually move these guns out as well as some of the armor. Ammo box, yeah, I guess I'll keep that. Actually, we can actually start utilizing one of them, but I don't think we'll do that just yet. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like that's all that I kind of really need to get out of here. And I guess the fish. And we'll just toss all this into this empty shulker box, just to save a little bit room for all the stackables. And then I guess I can show you off this, or show off this room. But as you can see, tons of blocks of brass. Unfortunately, you cannot just quick mine it with a wrench from Create. You do actually have to mine it. And since we do not have vein miner, it can be a little hard to collect it all really quickly, just because, like that. Every single little area like this does have it. One downside is there's sometimes a slight little delay with the spawner, or with these cogwheels spawning. So can mess up your little speed run if you are not paying attention, but yeah, just like that. We can easily acquire 8 blocks of brass, which is kind of insane, just because, I mean, it's not hard to craft, but this is what you use to craft the bullet casings. Okay, did not need to do that whatsoever, just wanted to come over here. Yeah, once you get to this area, honestly, if you are looking for a different type of drink in-game, this is where you could get some stuff to actually start producing your own alcohol, which is pretty cool because all these different wines do have their own effects. So if we were to come over here and right click it, as you can see, this is just cherry wine, which will give you invisibility for a short period of time, and is pretty good when it comes to hydrating your body. So if we're to drink this, boom, we get invisibility. So technically we're invisible. Oh yeah, I forgot I had that other backpack. And then it does leave you back with the wine, so if you do want to produce more, you can utilize that. Whoa, apple press. Oh, that's when you're making mash, but over here in the fermentation bottle or barrel, you can find all the various recipes on how you can create your own wine. Some of these are pretty cool. After all, they all have their own potion effects, as I said earlier. Some of them, I mean, I have yet to try that one, which looks insane, but they can be a little expensive or a little time consuming to produce, which means we might get into it, but as of right now, not really. But you could always find these wines in, well, not this area. Here you'll find the resources to craft them, but if you were to travel further up into the rooms, you would be able to actually produce or acquire some of the wines, which I'll do my best to just quickly go through it, just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, as you can see, get some more andesite casing, a bit more alloy, which is very useful. So if you really wanted to collect all of these, you can get insane amounts. And honestly, I really shouldn't have done that. That's a little redacted of me. And I am gonna skip this area just because of the sheer amount of guys over here. But yeah, as you can see, there is a ton more stuff available. And let's get up here. But yeah, I don't know if you guys saw that, but there is a unique dude in there. He is the bee dude, or I don't even know his official name, but he will spawn bees, and when he hits you, you get the honeyed effect, which will make the bees want to attack you. So be a little careful if you're not trying to get poisoned for a short period of time. But yeah, over here, a lot more create stuff. Some more casings, some more brass train controls. Yeah. Let's see, what else is available? Drinks area, just like before. Okay, so some of these chests just do have the resources available. So let's actually loot this one real quick. Sweet. More casing, controls, and then another room here. But we've already been into the rooms, so I will skip it just to save you guys some time. Okay, let's get rid of you. Sweet. And let's make our way over here. Let's see, can we get in here without them? Perfect. Nice. And yeah, once you get back into the staircase... Okay, really hate that guy. And, okay, sweet, he's locked behind that. So we actually have a chance of getting him. Let's see, if we do this, let's see. Sweet. Love that. But yeah, reason why this area, or the first floor, is really nice. Oh crap. I forgot there's a spawner in here, not gonna lie. But yeah, look at that. After you break the spawner, you have a second diesel generator, which, if you guys don't remember, the first one we did collect was from the wooden mega tower out here in the second tier district. Let me zoom in. Yeah, it was this tower that we visited. At the very top, you do get your diesel generator, which means if you have multiple in the area, you could just keep getting all of those generators. But here in the casino, you can also get another, which I guess I'll mine real quick, and I'll be back in just a moment. Alright, so I collected that right quick, and let's check out this area. Okay, cool. Anybody else? Not that I see. Spawners. Don't think there's any. But yeah, some sponges, a fluid tank, and some create fluid tanks, and valves. So if you do want to collect all this, you can go ahead, and then if we come this way, we get some thermoelectric generators, which is super nice, or at least I really love collecting these guys just because they are one hell of a way to get some power going early game that isn't hard to set up, because as you guys saw, somebody's mining some blocks. Yeah, as you guys saw earlier, or in a previous episode, that setting these guys up isn't too hard or complicated. It's rather easy, and that allows you to get some early game power for whatever setups you are doing, which unfortunately I kind of am towards the later game, so it's like kind of dumb for me to set it up. But as you can see, you can basically get everything while looting, so you don't have to set up any processes. The processes are mainly for, I guess, late game survival, just because it does get a little resource intensive or heavy when you get in the later stage, just because the production of bullets, the sheer amount of bullets you actually start utilizing, just because we don't have, what was it? Oh, there was that enchantment. I can't remember the name, but it would help us save ammo as we are firing. I'm not sure if that enchantment even exists anymore. But yeah, it would be nice to gain access to it. Okay, there's nobody on that side. But yeah, This is the next floor, right above the little diesel generator. Unfortunately, there was a ton of those guys because of these spawners. I believe each one of these little tiny rooms does have about 3 set up, so can be a little annoying. Here you can actually acquire full made wine, or you can always just raid these for all the little components to make your own. And if we click right here, let's see, get some more wine, which gives us jump boost, which is pretty nice. This one is some more cherry wine. We'll drink this just to be hydrated. You cannot put the wine bottles back in, so we'll just drop it off. And then more brass, more gold, more resources, more ways to make you rich. And looks like I missed out on a spawner over here. Let's take care of that. Then I'm pretty sure this one's also wines and... Okay, yeah, I was gonna say this one should have food, but this one doesn't. And let's see if we are lucky in this casino. Just because there should be a little someone that we can meet. I currently don't see the name, so this might actually think for us, but let's check it anyways. Yep, nothing here. Oh no, I guess I wasn't looking in the right area. In the casino is where he will find John Maroon, which, if you look at him, I don't know, he looks a little suspicious, you know? He looks like a certain YouTuber, not to mention his name is, I don't know, but it reminds me of a certain dude, you know? I don't know if you guys know, but I know. And then if we right click him, we can actually talk to him. So, John, the survivor. Oh man, am I glad to see another one of you. I'm John Maroon, owner of this fine establishment. What can I help you with? I heard there was a group here writing a research paper for the year. Do you know where they are? John, well, to tell you the truth, I'm the only one left. When the zombies blew down the doors and boxed us in, I tried all I could to stay and fight, but they were too much for us to handle. Now all I can do is hide as the undead roam the street and hope they don't come for me too. I haven't seen the research papers myself, but if you can grab your sword, armor, and go help clean out some of the infected, maybe I can try to find where they stored it. Better to take a stand than stay right here in the darkness where there's nothing left for me to do, I suppose. Got it. The Fallen King. I don't know if you guys get all these references, but I don't know. And if we take a quick look at the thing, his objective for us is to take out some infected military, and 10 of them to be exact. Yeah, as you can see, this area you can also acquire a wee bit more resources. And if you come over here, we got some food, we got some loot. And if we jump over here, you got a nice little restroom. I don't know why he would hide himself from this area. I'm not gonna really take it all because we don't really need it. I could always just come back and get it in the off time. But yeah, I think this area actually has food for us. Yep, as you can see, if you need some food, this area is a pretty nice place to restock on that while you resume your journey. Let's check our food situation, which we are a-okay. And let's continue going up the tower. Okay, above this, I do think we actually start getting into rooms, maybe? Okay, so this area is also blocked off. Don't care. Okay, let's see. When will the rooms actually start? Okay, it's a little tight area when going up, so it can be a little annoying. Let's see. This area is useless. Just disable you. And let's get up this way. Okay, is this a room? It is not. Okay, skip that. Just because I want to show you guys what you can get in the rooms. Okay. Oh, yes, these are the rooms. If they are locked, it is a room. Cool. Let's see, how many spawners? There should be 3 spawners in each room. There's usually one in that area, one over here, and one in the restroom. The majority of time, those are the locations, and here we can actually start acquiring some resistant fiber. Okay, these guys are empty. As for what you can use resistant fiber for, well, if you take a quick look, you can use it to make some epic coatings, whether it's the warm or the cooling. And then, of course, you could always craft the resistant fabric, but this kind of does not have any use right now, I believe, just because we can't really make it tier 4, which this is a resource to be able to start producing tier 4. So I highly recommend using it to make these coatings so you can make the epic thermal coat, but you don't even need to do that, just because if you loot the area, you should be able to find some of those cooling coats. And let's just grab all this, toss these guys up here, and check the rest of the room. So here we can actually acquire some more intermediate components, which I thought we have one. Yeah, we do. That's weird. Yeah, these intermediate components will allow us to produce the next tier of armor, which is tier 3, and unfortunately for us, that would be the final tier that is available in the current public beta, which, I mean, it kind of sucks, but, you know, it makes me that much more excited for when the actual full release comes out, because I think we will do a hardcore run and see if we are as lucky as we have been in this series, where we have went nearly deathless. Well, deathless when it comes to fighting zombies. One death for me being dumb and missing a water bucket placement. But yeah, other than that, I think that's the only death that I've had in the game. Yeah, just like that. Get a wee bit of resources, get some components and the blueprints, so if we really wanted to, we can produce our own armor. That's basically how all these rooms are gonna look. Okay, let's get rid of these guys. They might vary a little bit in what is placed down on the ground, but basically it's just the same thing. Rinse and repeat. As you can see, no spawner here. Okay, annoying, but or technically in this area you have one spawner, it's not always there. And then, oh, that's new, we have this one. Ah, so there's none in the restroom. It's either in the restroom or over there. Interesting. Okay, noted. And let's just grab this. I don't actually, we'll keep going. I could rate this at a future time just so that we don't stall. But yeah, basically all of these are the same. Let's see. Boom, same thing. Let's get up here. This one should be the same. You, same thing. Good. And that one actually has explosive dude. Okay. Let's see how high we need to go to actually get to the penthouse. Here. Okay, this one might actually be the beginning of the penthouse. Let's see. Keep going up. Yep. So it looks like that was... Okay, can we attack? Okay, sweet. Let's do this, and this is the absolute top of the casino. So we will come back here to wrap up the end of the episode. But in the meantime, let's actually head down here. This should be the second floor, or am I just redacted? Let's see. Boom. Okay, yeah, never mind. It's just the penthouse. Okay, let's mine this, and let's disable everything so we can actually take a proper look at this place. It's kind of nice. Nice and big. Very roomy. And let's head up here. Okay, any spawners here? Yep, one right there. Boom. And last floor. Okay. And that should be it, folks. I'm just double checking. I don't want to make a fool of myself again. But yeah, look at that. Get some money blocks, a wee bit of diamonds, or quite a bit, honestly. So whatever resources you use, you can easily replenish whenever you are out and about. And just like that, we find another plushie. Boom, this time we have the villager. Let's see, what's all in here? Fabric, fabric, fabric. I mean, I'm gonna take it. Just because if we are going to be doing Create Next episode, there's something that's on my mind that I do want to make. Let's see. Toss all this up here and continue with our little looting progress. Okay, over here, gold block. Sweet. Actually grabbed it before it fell. Boom. Tons of money. So, I mean, it just makes sense. You're in a casino, there should be money. But yeah, just a little reminder. What would you guys like to see in the next series? Just because I do think I'm gonna cancel the Cisco's, just because I kind of want a little change. So, if you guys want another series where there's guns, there's a few zombie mod packs, infection mod packs out there, or instead of going infection, there's actually a fantasy one out there that does utilize guns called steampunk, and that one might actually be pretty fun. Or would you guys like to see a Terraria Let's Play? Just because I think I'm just gonna keep it one series at a time. But yeah, let me know what you guys think we should do. Okay, so these are not the fancy wine. Which one was it? Let's see, which one says better than golden apples? Because I'm pretty sure it's up here where we can actually get that. Let's see. Nope. Here? No. But this one's pretty good. Resistance. Resistance is damage reductions, and there it is. That's what we like to see. So now we do have some better than golden apples, so whenever we do take some damage, I think I'm going to put it to a test. And let's see, can we get lucky and see any more? And yep, a few here, and oh, that's something else. Interesting. Ah, so it has its own NBT data before it recognizes itself. Cool. Very interesting. A Solaris? What is that? Health boost. You know what? That's nice. I just kind of think it's a little weird how it doesn't stack initially. But yeah, let's head on up and wrap up the episode. Yeah, keep it nice and short this time, or shorter this time, and then next episode we will dive into immersive engineering and create, and just like that, we have basically looted the casino, which, I mean, it's a pretty big tower, just like the vertical school, but it doesn't feel as intense just because the resources available are, I don't know, I feel like the vertical school is just insane because height wise it's kind of the same, but if we come over here, 270, but it's also like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, roughly, you could say 3 to 3.5 chunks big, and then lengthwise it's like 4 to 5 chunks. I don't know. I didn't really measure it compared to this one, where it's like maybe 2.5 by 2.5, so it's a lot smaller in comparison. And then chest wise, it's a lot less chests, a lot less drawers, or at least all of that is pretty close together without any obstacles getting in the way of opening things. So whenever you do hit the casino, it's basically hit basement, loot basement, um, basically take the security towers, and then grab whatever resources you would like on the way up, and then maybe hit the rooms for some extra cash and diamonds and stuff. But that stuff isn't really too crazy, just because I don't know if you guys saw, we got how many intermediate parts? 7 intermediate parts just from hitting a couple rooms, which I'm probably gonna loot the rest just to build up our resource for it. But if you do want some more intermediate components, I highly recommend just hitting the other hotels that are nearby. Just because I do know this one, I think is Hotel D or of some sort. And as you go through the rooms, you will find intermediate components as well as all the other resources. But basically, I just go through it for some intermediate components, and then at some point, the exercise room is a ton of create stuff. So that would also be something really nice to get. As for all the other hotels, I technically have not been in them, so I can't really say how much of what you can find in each and if they have anything specific. But as I do that in my off time solo, I will let you guys know what you can or can't find in them. But yeah, as you can see, tier 3 district, not too crazy. The football armor does very well with your bat and your weapons. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you guys are enjoying the series, make sure to hit that like button. If you guys have any comments, questions, suggestions, advice, tips, or tricks, or have any clue as to what series you would like next, let me know down in the comments. And if you guys want to keep following along, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and then you guys will be notified whenever I do upload the next episode. So, for that, guys, thank you guys for watching, and for sure, next episode, we will get into Crate. But yeah, again, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, peace.